Welcome back to the Convo Couch, ladies and gentlemen. I am Pastor Jardula.
And I'm Fiorella.
And Johnny Tsunami.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday fun day. Johnny Tsunami's over on the ones and twos engineering the show. I'd like to send a immediate shout out, fam. Oh, we don't have the buzzer. To Steve Wilbrandt, who just made a great comment. He said this show is growing fast and becoming a strong voice for California and national politics. Please subscribe to their YouTube channel, Steve. We love you.
Thank you, Steve.
Guess what came in? Let me show everybody. See?
The Convo Couch t-shirt that
Yep.
I need to wear.
That's
yeah, I know.
I wore it
sorry.
today, and Fee, you don't got one of these. You want a little Convo Couch?
Convo Couch mug.
Little coffee couch mug. We're going to be sending some out to our patrons for a little while that have been on the site. We're also going to send some out to some of the people who supported us in the KDEM adventure, which was awesome.
Yes.
Fam, let's jump into it. I want to say hi to everybody on the MCSC network. Toby Dawes, Living Infernus, Stugan Monday, Edward Klein. On our Convo Couch YouTube, we got 20 and growing. Learned Hand, how you doing, Learned Hand? The Kitty, and Kung Fu Platypus.
Kung Fu Platypus, I like that.
So somebody also asked Fiorella if we are going to be going to the next debates.
That's the plan. So we are it's not about getting the tickets, it's about the plane costs and all that. So we're trying to figure that out.
We'll figure it out.
So
Probably.
yeah.
One way or another, I think you'll see a stream, maybe a
Yeah.
Who knows? We don't want to spoil any of the surprises. The show is growing, and so is our reach, and some doors might be opening on up for us. I wish the doors would open up, however, Fiorella, for the people in Honduras, because
Absolutely.
Last week was not just the 10-year anniversary of the Michael Jackson passing away. It was also the 10-year anniversary of the coup in Honduras that was kind of like swept under the rug.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of fugaziness, and it's really a hot topic right now, Fiorella.
Fugaziness.
Fugaziness. It's really a hot topic because regime change is big, and we've been yelling and screaming at the TV screen during the debates to have somebody like Marianne Williamson connect the immigration problem to the foreign policy problem. And Fiorella, you have such an insight to this because you went down to the border. By the way, congratulations to Brazil. Unfortunately, Peru, they finished second. Good. Second place is not bad.
Let's just congratulate the women's soccer team.
U.S. soccer team as well.
Who was absolutely amazing. And also the women's soccer team for the U.S. is always so much better and has always been so much better than the male soccer team.
I know. You couldn't wait to talk about that.
I know. I just couldn't wait to mention it.
It's Sunday Fun Day.
It's really nice.
Let's talk about the southern border where the people from Honduras are coming in droves.
Yes.
And you've talked to these people, Fiorella, and you've said, a lot of people have said they understand what happened to them. They understand that the coup was backed by the United States. And there was a lot of fugaziness when it was going on. There was a lot of mixed signals. In fact, I got into an argument with somebody the other day who was saying that Obama did not support the coup. And you can see there's a little headline over there. It says Obama says the coup in Honduras was illegal.
Okay. That's what he's saying now. But
yeah, that's what he's saying. This is what he said then. This article has been circulating since people have been kind of pointing the finger. Obama let this happen. This is another example. And it is also one of the big causes for our foreign policy, from immigration through our foreign policy. Now, I want us to get up to date. I found this video on Al Jazeera. It's a little 2-minute video. It doesn't have enough views, but take a look at it so you get caught up to date on what's going on in Honduras.
We all know how keen, hawkish Hillary Clinton is on regime change in the Middle East, in Iraq, Libya, Syria. What often gets forgotten, however, is what she did in Honduras. The fact that Honduras was a democracy didn't stop then Secretary of State Clinton backing regime change even there, back in 2009. She threw her support behind the coup that ousted democratically elected Honduran President Manuel Zelaya, who was flown out of the country in his pajamas. While the UN, the EU, and the OAS were calling for Zelaya to be immediately reinstated, Clinton was, in her own words, to quote her 2014 memoir Hard Choices, strategizing a plan to restore order in Honduras and ensure that free and fair elections could be held quickly and legitimately, which would render the question of Zelaya moot. A pretty damning admission. Which is probably why she removed it from the paperback edition of her memoir that came out a year later. To make things worse, to this day, Clinton insists, against all evidence, that Honduran institutions followed the law in removing President Zelaya and refuses to call a coup a coup.
Our assessment was we should slow walk and try to stop anything that the government could take advantage of without calling it a coup.
That wasn't the assessment of our own US ambassador on the ground in Honduras at the time, who wrote in an official memo, "There is no doubt that the military, Supreme Court, and National Congress conspired on June 28th in what constituted an illegal and unconstitutional coup." That memo of his includes the word coup a mere 12 times. Maybe Clinton just lost it in all her other emails. But here's the worst part. Earlier this year, Clinton actually congratulated herself on how events in Honduras turned out.
We managed a very difficult situation without bloodshed.
Put aside for a moment that the people of Honduras might not want the US managing situations in their country, to say with a straight face that the whole thing happened without bloodshed is astonishing, given the UN says the murder rate in Honduras went up by almost 50% after the coup, with the return of death squads, ongoing violence, and soldiers accused of murder and torture. Berta Cáceres, the famous Honduran human rights activist who singled out Hillary Clinton for backing the Honduran coup, warned in 2013 that the army has an assassination list of 18 wanted human rights fighters with my name at the top. When they want to kill me, they will do it. In March of this year, Cáceres was shot dead inside her own home. I guess it isn't surprising, is it, that Henry Kissinger and Hillary Clinton are such good friends.
Okay.
Fiorella.
That's not a conspiracy theory.
No. She died.
Everybody knows that this woman was shot and she was assassinated.
Totally.
It's really, like, again, I'm repeating that because a lot of people like to say that's a conspiracy theory. Obama isn't as bad. And, you know, they want to give Obama, like, off the hook.
Yeah,
and
free pass.
I continuously see it. And I don't bring up Obama. We don't bring up Obama to necessarily compare him to Trump. It's so you all understand that any blue will not do. That if we continue electing neoliberals and neocons, they're going to continue doing the same exact thing if they are pro-war, and which they are. All of these people are pro-war, and it's not going to solve our immigration problem. It's also going to continue killing people abroad.
Yeah,
so.
and you talk about Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, Mike Gravel, Marianne Williamson now in that list. The other ones, you have to keep the eye on them because, you know, those people that we just talked about are anti-war, they're anti-regime change. And isn't it so crazy that the coup went through, they removed him, and we're talking about a socialistic leader, because when we get into this interview right now of Manuel Zelaya today, the Greystone did this amazing interview. Amazing. And we're going to kind of dissect some parts of it. But isn't it crazy, Fiorella, the way Obama said it was illegal, but then Hillary Clinton said it was legal? And then the lady who singled Hillary Clinton out just goes missing, goes, you know, dies. So you wonder why people always question the Seth Rich thing. And, you know, the Washington Post did this big article why it's a conspiracy theory. And once again, I'm not saying it's true or it's not, but you should always question the government.
100%.
Because they're going to lie to you no matter what.
I'm just throwing that out there.
I want to say hi to some people out there because the landline is going crazy. Edward Klein, where you been, my man? Stungeon Monday. These are all people who are on the MCSC network.
MCSC.
Living Infirmus. Anthony Liberte. We love you all. There are 84 people. And on the Convo Couch YouTube, there are 33. We need to get it up there. Yeah, okay, buddy. How you doing? Dana Fairbanks. Steve Wilbrandt. Hi, fam. Armin, we love you. Mike Walker. What's that? Lee Cox. We love you, Lee Cox. And next Sunday, we'll have Gabriel Ramirez on the show here in the studio. Gabriel Ramirez is a delegate, a young political activist. He's awesome. He says he's going to bring us maybe some pan dulce. And Valerie Flanagan, who's in pan dulce.
Pan dulce?
Pan dulce. Okay. Gabriel Ramirez, we love you. We expect some pan dulce. Nico Dangood put hashtag Seth Rich. And Valerie Flanagan, you probably like my guest tomorrow. I will be interviewing Tim Canova to talk about some election integrity around 3:30 our time, 6:30 Eastern. So if you're around, jump on in and join the couch, fam. Let's get back to Honduras because, like I said, Fiorella talked to a lot of these people. We did a show. We showed some of the footage, the voice. We have the infamous kids hugging you guys, the kid from Honduras. Just a serious problem. You can see the death squads went up. The murder rate went up. It became like Fort Knox. We did another show, Fiorella. We talked about Israel having a 10-year weapon deal. So let's talk about Honduras today. So why don't we get to Manuel Zelaya? And they're going to ask him right off the bat. This is a great interview. And we're going to connect some dots here for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for your time, Mr. President. It's been 10 years since you were removed in a U.S.-backed coup from your position as the democratically elected president of Honduras. What has the United States accomplished here since then? What has changed in your country?
Bueno, la ruptura de un pacto social que le denominamos nosotros Constitución de la República es la Constitución del Estado. Cuando se rompe el pacto social, por lógica viene lo que se conoce como la ley del más fuerte. Crímenes, asesinatos, tortura, siempre del lado ganador contra la oposición. Eso ha sido un sacrificio para el pueblo hondureño porque el lado que tomó el poder ha tenido el apoyo de Estados Unidos. Estados Unidos es el mayor beneficiado del golpe de Estado. Y hay un principio en derecho penal que dice que el beneficiado de un crimen es el principal sospechoso. ¿Cómo ha sido beneficiado? Bueno, Estados Unidos tiene un control casi absoluto sobre Honduras. Controla la justicia.
So, Fiorella, who benefited most from the coup in Honduras?
The United States.
The United States.
Absolutely.
Corporations, arms deals, weapons. He talks about it. You know, the coup takes over. The murder rate shoots up. Now they're buying weapons left and right. They have a 10-year deal with Israel. Okay, who owns all the fruit? Who owns all the bananas? The consumption of bananas in North America. All you people who buy those bananas, I haven't eaten a banana in almost a year and a half now, but all those bananas you see, where do you think they come from? The people of Honduras are not reaping the benefit from those resources, Fiorella. United States corporations are.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's all connected too. I have this article from the LA Times because Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, they did this dance, they did this toe tap, and oh, that's illegal, but we're not going to do anything about it. We're going to call for elections, making the point of Zelaya moot. But look at this coup with connections, and it talks about it. Let me bring it up real quick, sorry, so I can read it real quick. But if you see right here, meet Lanny Davis, the second paragraph, Washington lawyer and lobbyist, former legal counsel to the President Clinton, and avid campaigner for Hillary Rodham Clinton's presidential bid. He has been hired by the coalition of Latin American business interests to represent the dictatorship that ousted elected President Manuel Zelaya of Honduras, a military coup, and removed him to Costa Rica on June 28th. So here we got a big Clinton lobbyist coming in, Fiorella. Notice I'm saying Fiorella, not fam so much. I'm on my game.
Now you're saying Fiorella too much.
And now I got to say fam. We have a big Hillary Clinton lobbyist coming in to represent the coup, to represent the business interests on the other side. Now, I also want you to understand something else, Fiorella. You know who Lanny Davis is? You know who Lanny Davis represents today? Lanny Davis happens to be Michael Cohen's lawyer. So you see how it's all connected. George Carlin, it's a big club, and you ain't in it. So they're all watching each other's back. They're all watching each other's back. So here is Manuel Zelaya again, talks about the U.S. having complete control of Honduras now. Not the people of Honduras who they elected, but the U.S.
And before you play that, I just want to say that this is exactly what they were trying to do in Venezuela. If it sounds familiar, it's because it was.
They were able to pull it off in Honduras.
Yeah.
Es el principal sospechoso. ¿Cómo ha sido beneficiado? Bueno, Estados Unidos tiene un control casi absoluto sobre Honduras. Controla la justicia a través de la OEA. Controla la seguridad a través del Comando Sur. Controla la economía a través del Fondo Monetario Internacional, Banco Mundial y BID.
Oops.
Oh, there it is. Phone's down. So, fam, it shows who has complete control. by design, just like they want to do in Venezuela. You know why? They want to take over the oil reserves. They want that oil. They want to give it to the Koch brothers, business interest-wise. It's a resource extraction. Plus, they want to be able to sell their weapons. They want to arm these people to the T to keep the migrants in. That's why Donald Trump, gave them a weapons deal as well. Okay, it's to keep the migrants in. Now, if you look right here, we have this right now. I want to connect the dots because if you're a Trump supporter and you're for, what's the word, immigration control? I want to use the right wording. But if you're a Donald Trump supporter, you don't want migrants coming in. Remember, you build the wall. You want to control the population coming in the United States. This is the number one cause. Now, watch how Manuel Zelaya connects the people coming in the caravans to the United States. Very simple. Armin, what's up? Armin says, what's better than mentioning the women's soccer team is mentioning the fact that they should get equal pay, equal to the men.
Yeah.
Especially since they win and the men don't.
Conseguir protección, entregan todo a los norteamericanos.
What has been the impact on the average Honduran throughout these years?
Subió la pobreza. Hay más pobres. Ya sobrepasa casi el 70% de la población en niveles de pobreza. Subió el crimen, subió el narcotráfico. Según un informe del Departamento de Estado, el tráfico de drogas por Honduras después del golpe se incrementó casi al doble. Y dice el informe que Honduras se convirtió en el paraíso del narcotráfico. Subió la deuda externa. Cuando me sacaron a balazos debíamos 3.000 millones. Hoy en 10 años debemos 14.000 millones, o sea, 4 veces más. Entonces, eso constituye en que el país está en serios problemas de falta de crecimiento económico, falta de inversión, violaciones a los derechos humanos. Y yo le pongo una sola prueba. Honduras es el país de las caravanas hacia los Estados Unidos, porque el golpe de Estado convierte a Honduras en un infierno.
So, there it is. Go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I was just going to say that he says it right there. I mean, Honduras is a leading country of the caravans, and he's absolutely right. The majority of the people that are there are from Honduras. So the fact that not only are we putting a lot of them in concentration camps or detention centers is one thing, and the other fact is that we need to recognize the corporate elitist people in our government and the lobbyists and all of these people who benefit from this immigration thing. Because if you think about it, the Blackstone and all of these people who house these migrants, they make so much money off of this.
Yeah.
This is a big money making machine, and that's exactly how it's all connected. All they care about is making money. This isn't about them caring about helping people or trying to bring democracy. This is about making money, as much money as we can, and continuing our imperialist hold over the Latin American nations.
And they do the same thing they do over here. They control the media over there. They
Yeah.
control public opinion. They control the IMF, so they control the economy. Like he said in this last statement, they were, when he was taken at gunpoint in his pajamas, $3 billion in debt. Now it's $14 billion. Okay, so pretty much our corporations, our monetizing system, our money system has just taken a stranglehold on Honduras. Now, everybody will say, oh, well, that was Obama and Hillary Clinton. That was Obama and Hillary Clinton. If you're Donald Trump or you're a Trump fan, wouldn't you want him to control the situation? If Donald Trump went in day one and he went to Honduras and he removed that president that had taken over and put Manuel Zelaya back in, he wouldn't have had this crisis. But guess what happens? Look, Trump administration recognizes Honduran president's reelection. Needless to say, Fiorella, the reason why they said they was okay to remove Manuel Zelaya is because he wanted to extend the term limits. And he even said if he does extend the term limits, it's going to be another president that gets it. He will not run for re-election. So they removed him at gunpoint, and then they allowed the next coup leader, the president, to take over. And you can see, amid protest, Honduran president is sworn in for a second term, and guess what? Donald Trump backed him. So Donald Trump is aiding the migration to the United States. And even furthermore, he doubled down by listening to Bolton in Venezuela. So all you people who voted for Donald Trump who want him to do, control migration, he doesn't have to control it at the border. He has to control it in the country that they're in. But who's really pulling the strings, fam?
Right. The military-industrial complex and these people behind Donald Trump isn't really even pulling the strings.
No.
That's the whole thing. He's not an anti-interventionist president.
No.
He has a chance to be, and he's been better than someone like Hillary Clinton, but at the same time, he's definitely not keeping his promise that he ran on as being anti-interventionist.
Especially with the sanctions, because the sanctions are an act of war. The sanctions make more people come to this country.
Yep.
The sanctions are what drive people here. It's the core reason why people are driven here. But I also want you to understand something, ladies and gentlemen, in my personal opinion, that it's not just about resource extraction. It's not just about using the IMF to control the economy. It's not just about selling them guns. It's also about not allowing the United States people and its citizens to see a socialistic government in place.
Yep.
And I want you to take a look at this last piece I have from this video. We're going to skip ahead, and it's so beautiful the way Zelaya explains why he became a democratic socialist. A democratic socialist. Check it out. It's beautiful.
I would like to talk about your personal political development, because when you were elected, you were considered part of a more center-left party and movement. And now you are speaking about socialism. Why did you change, and how would you characterize yourself now?
Centro-derecha. Centro-derecha. Es una evolución porque la derecha está agotada. Se sostiene con armas, con golpes, con fraudes, con engaños. El futuro de la humanidad tiene que ser social. Usted es un ser social, usted. Aristóteles dice que nosotros somos seres racionales. El hombre es un animal racional. Pero nosotros consideramos que el ser humano hoy es un ser totalmente social. El hombre y la mujer sin sociedad no puede vivir. Todo lo que pensamos, lo que percibimos de la realidad es en relación a nuestro entorno social. Entonces, ¿para dónde debe de caminar la humanidad? Para el individualismo, para el egoísmo, para el interés particular o el interés social. El interés social. El futuro de la humanidad es socialista. Posiblemente luchemos 10.000 años o más. Pero el futuro, si la humanidad no avanzara hacia lo social, viviríamos con la ley del más fuerte en las cavernas. El ser humano está avanzando y avanza hacia lo social. Claro, yo me crié en una filosofía política liberal, pero ahora evolucioné a una política primero liberal prosocialista y ahora socialista democrática.
Wow, fam. He called himself a democratic socialist. That is so awesome. And he talked about the future of humanity. The future of the planet is being social, is buying into family, is buying into community, is buying into helping each other. And, capitalism is barbaric.
Yeah.
Barbaric. And this whole system of capitalism, the Monroe Doctrine, I said the Monroe Doctrine, I got to mention Alex Davidson in our chat. He said, and Bill Maher can fuck the fuck off forever. You're right, he can. The Kitty 3, Allison Murphy, Michael Cruz. Hello, everybody. We have 62 people watching on the CONVO Couch YouTube.
Nice.
We have 118 people watching on the MCSC Network. Edward Klein, Dave Alberts, Shandon Shin. And we have 12 people watching on our Facebook.
Lots
Steve
of
Wilbrett.
hearts.
How you doing? Fiorella, you want to talk a little bit about the sanctions, too. Now we talked about
I'm just going to
Zelaya.
mention it, fam.
It's such a big part of this.
Fam, I'm just going to mention the fact that we are putting sanctions on Syria. And again, it is such a big part of this because it doesn't, just because we're not there fully with full boots on the ground doesn't mean that we're not engaging in a sort of, I would say, oppressive form of manipulation. We are sanctioning Syria and that is hurting them. But we are going to blame it on Assad, and
of course we are.
And we are going to say that this is all his fault and that he's a brutal dictator. Do you notice the pattern here? Do you all notice the pattern that, for instance, let me see if I can read. Syria is experiencing a worsening fuel shortage as a result of Western sanctions, bringing some major cities to a near standstill and causing some of the war's worst economic circumstances for President Bashar al-Assad's loyalists. So pretty much we are choking their access to gasoline, diesel, oil. This is how we pretty much force a country to say, okay, that's it. We give in. We are going to do what you ask. The thing is, he's not giving in. Maduro didn't give in. And, you know, and when a coup is unsuccessful, this is what we do.
Yep.
We do the sanctions. So.
And this is an area we have to get ahead of. We have to call to lift the sanctions now. If we want to be a peaceful nation, if we want to share our global power with China, with Russia, we have to stop with these proxy wars. We have to lift the sanctions because they only hurt the poor people. They deprive them of their water, food, medical supplies. Lift the sanctions now. Lift them in in Venezuela. Lift them in Syria. Lift them in Iran. We don't want a war there. Fam,
you have the game?
Yeah, it's game time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging on in there. We have so many people. We're growing as a channel. We're almost near 3,000 subscribers. And now we're going to have game time. And Fiorella, you're not going to get to use the help of the audience this time.
I'm not?
No.
Well, I'm going to lose. So.
You're probably going to lose.
Yeah.
Because you're a loser.
Wow.
Just
that's
kidding.
rude.
This is the board. I'm teasing. Fiorella teases me like that all the time. She's
no, I
loser.
never say things like that.
No, never.
Ever.
Calls me a fail. This is her board. She's got to get 6 answers. We're going to play something.
That's not fair. I have to use the audience.
Wait, no, audience. Don't use that pen. That pen sucks. Use this pen. It doesn't write clearly. And we're going to put up on the board. We're going to give her 60 seconds. Now, if she gets all 6 right.
There's no way.
This egg right here.
I can't even see that right now.
This egg right here will be cracked over my head if she gets all 6 right. 60 seconds.
Okay.
All right.
I literally can't.
I'll tell you what. Here's what we
know.
I'm giving you a little extra time. Whoa. Just put that on the board over there. Careful. Here's the thing. Fee, if you get 5 right,
yeah.
If you get 5 right, I'll make you dinner. If you get 4, it's a tie. If you get 3 or less, you have to cook me dinner. You got 60 seconds. 6 right, crack an egg over your head. 60 seconds. Begin. Can we see it for the audience?
I'm confused. 60 seconds for all of it?
Yeah.
For everything?
Go.
There's
can
no
the audience
way.
see it? See there, guys?
I have no idea. Like, I am bad at these games.
How you doing, Fiorella?
This is ridiculous. There's no way I'm going to get this.
Come on, don't quit.
It's way too much short time.
Do you know that in 1989 we went into Panama?
Shut up, Pasta. You're so annoying.
This is a great book. How many seconds we got left? 15 seconds. Fam.
If this were about knowledge,
Can I see that?
I would win.
Can I see that buzzer, please?
This is about bullshit right here.
No way.
There's no way anybody, like, I can't. There's no way.
Hold on. Let's see what she got. Let's put the right answers up. Let's take a look. We're not giving her another minute. What'd she get there?
There's no way.
She got
you
James.
Started the clock before
give them the right answers there. No, we gave you an extra.
No, you did not.
We gave you extra time.
I did. You did not.
Fiorella, you lost.
No.
James Buchanan and Ulysses Grant. So you got 2. You got Calvin and you got James over there. I'll give you half of a half. So 2.5 means that Fiorella will have to cook.
Oh God.
Dinner for me.
I'm gonna make it vegan.
And we will put it up on our Patreon. And before you go to work today, I'm gonna give you a little pasta arrabbiata.
I'm not eating that. I'm sorry. I can't.
She get too much pasta arrabbiata, but listen, no. I'll eat it. And we are going to put that up on Patreon too. What we're going to do is Fiorella's going to do some stuff for her Patreon. For me, I'm going to do some cooking. I'm going to put a lot of my food up there at least once a week. And we want to thank you for helping grow our Patreon. We now have 19 Patreons. We had 9 10 days ago.
Woo!
So with your love and your help, we can do more. Everything you get us, we put into play. Fam, let's talk about my favorite person. Subject 3.
Wait a minute. By the way, you guys, that was an unfair game. Just so you know, that was an unfair game.
Fiorella, I told you the night before that I'm going to be doing dead presidents. You could have went ahead and studied.
Oh, yeah, like I have time to study.
Listen, I expected you to at least get 4 right.
No.
And win the game.
No,
you didn't. You lost.
No.
I want arroz con gandules.
No. I'm not making you arroz con gandules. I'm making you freaking vegan. vegan stuff.
All right, get to the third subject. Sore loser.
So Assange, Assange, hasn't been talked about at all, and he is being he's ill. The man, he's being treated like the worst criminal in the world. And I want to point out the hypocrisy of the way he's being treated compared to the way Wall Street executives who ruined people's lives, who literally ruined people's lives and who got a bailout are treated. So I have this YouTube video. It's 6 minutes. It's like 5 minutes and change long, but I'm going to stop it and we'll start and go. Yeah. So Johnny, you're good? You're good? Can we start the video? Okay, great.
I began by asking him about WikiLeaks editor Julian Assange, who'd been arrested earlier in the day. He had been taken out by British authorities of the Ecuadorian embassy in London, where he had political asylum for almost 7 years.
Well, the Assange arrest is scandalous in several respects. One of them is just the effort of governments, and it's not just the U.S. government. The British are cooperating. Ecuador, of course, is now cooperating. Sweden before had cooperated. The efforts to silence a journalist who was producing materials that people in power didn't want the rascal multitude to know about. Okay? That's basically what happened. WikiLeaks was producing things that people ought to know about those in power. People in power don't like that, so therefore we have to silence it, okay? This is the kind of thing, the kind of scandal that takes place, unfortunately, over and over. To take another example, right next door to Ecuador, in Brazil, where the developments that have gone on are extremely important. This is the most important country in Latin America, one of the most important in the world. Under the Lula government early in this millennium, Brazil was maybe the most respected country in the world. It was the voice for the global South under the leadership of Lula da Silva. Notice what happened. There was a coup, soft coup, to eliminate the nefarious effects of the Labor Party, the Workers' Party. These are described by the World Bank, not me, the World Bank, as the golden decade in Brazil's history, with radical reduction of poverty, massive extension of inclusion of marginalized populations, large parts of the population, Afro-Brazilian, indigenous, who were brought into the society, a sense of dignity and hope for the population. That couldn't be tolerated. After Lula's after he left office, a kind of a soft coup take place. I won't go through the details, but the last move, last September, was to take the Lula da Silva, the most popular figure in Brazil, who was almost certain to win the forthcoming election, put him in jail, solitary confinement, essentially a death sentence, 25 years in jail, banned from reading press or books, and crucially barred from making a public statement, unlike mass murderers on death row. This in order to silence the person who was likely to win the election. He's the most important political prisoner in the world. Do you hear any?
Okay, so as you guys notice, he's talking about how Assange is being treated like he's a dangerous criminal because they really want to keep all of the information that he exposed as a journalist out. They want to make people afraid of this is what happens when you do this, when you release the government secrets without the government's consent, because when is the government going to consent to releasing their secrets? And he compared this to how look what's happening in another coup. And Noam Chomsky is amazing because he mentions the coup and what happened with Lula, and how he was the most popular president, and how Brazil was really doing well economically. And then what happened? We had Bolsonaro come in pretty much, and Trump supports Bolsonaro.
Yeah.
That tells you so much. And you know what, guys?
Business in the Amazon.
If it had been Obama in the office, or had been any other neoliberal, they would have maybe up front not said they supported him, but they would have done actions behind the scenes that supported the coup, because it is beneficial to the United States. I mean, right now, Bolsonaro is privatizing the entire Amazon.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's disgusting because, of course, we've talked about this before. The Amazonian rainforest is so essential to our entire ecosystem.
It goes, we go. We can screw up the whole ecosystem, and we know that. And that's the whole thing. That's why they put this. We talked about. We did a show on Lula. Great socialistic leader, and that's what the United States does. The DOJ had their fingerprints all over it. Okay, they got caught with their hands in the cookie jar. If I could be one person, you know who I would be, fam? I would be a Brazilian general, and I would roll up with my squad to that fucking prison, bust Lula out. Go friggin' down to the friggin' the Congress, where the Brazilian Congress is, and arrest these motherfuckers. Bolsonaro, the judge hero, they got caught. That's what I would do. I would hang these motherfuckers up in the square. Enough is enough.
Johnny, can you just play a little bit of the rest?
Nom 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 nom
nom
nom.
Anything about it? Well, Assange is a similar case. We've got to silence this voice. You go back to history, some of you may recall when Mussolini's fascist government put Antonio Gramsci in jail. The prosecutor said, we have to silence this voice for 20 years. Can't let it speak. That's Assange. That's Lula. There are other cases. That's one scandal. The other scandal is just the extraterritorial reach of the United States, which is shocking. I mean, why should the United States, no other state could possibly do it, but why should the United States have the power to control what others are doing elsewhere in the world? I mean, it's an outlandish situation. It goes on all the time. We never even notice it. At least there's no comment on it. You can ask yourself, why is this accepted? So in this case, why is it acceptable for the United States to have the power to even begin to give even a proposal to extradite somebody whose crime is to expose to the public materials that people in power don't want them to see? That's basically what's happening.
Okay. Okay, exactly. And he pretty much laid it out there. Why are we okay? Why have we completely ignored the fact that we are this overreaching arm that likes to meddle in other people's governments and other people's election? Yet you have the entire Democratic Party all just clutching their pearls about Russia meddling and this and that.
And China.
And in China. But look at us. We literally meddle and install our own pro-capitalist puppets to squash any kind of successful social democracy, social nations in Latin America. Because what they don't want is, let me put this out there, they don't want black and brown people in power, because that's where Hugo Chavez came from. That's where Maduro came from. They were working class people. And Zelaya talked about it in his interview that we just watched. He talked about these people being working class. La clase obrera, that's working class in Spanish. And and that's something the United States does not want to see, because look at our economic system right now. The working class has no power. Yeah. The middle class is pretty much non-existent. All of the power is residing in the elites. So when they say that they don't, the Republicans say that they don't want welfare, when Democrats say that they don't have enough money, It's because all of the money is being spent only at the top, and they are on welfare. We are providing welfare for them, and they don't want you to see the success in other countries, so they have to make it look like it's completely unsuccessful, it's completely undemocratic, and call every single person that doesn't bow down to them a dictator.
Yeah. Capitalism. That's what they keep just pushing. They don't want you to see it. I just want to say hi to some people real quick on the lines. Michael Cruz, Connie, how you doing? Allison Murphy, Freedom Tribe, almost 60 people watching on the Convo Couch.
Sweet.
YouTube, thank you guys so much. You guys have helped grow our audience, and we're going to have some shirts going out there. Also on the MCSC Network, 130. We love you, Road Cow. Glad you're hanging in there with us. Leon D, Cam Sawari, Kate, and let me get somebody else. All these people over here. Jake Smith, we love you. And on the Facebook, Tom, stop freaking texting me right now. David Perez and Steve Woolbroth still hanging on in.
I just had one last little comment. This article in Newsweek, you guys should read it in case you haven't read it. It's only a day old. And Newsweek did this. It's an opinion piece, but this is intense. I mean, I didn't expect Newsweek to come out with anything. The title is You Celebrate Your Freedom, Remember Julian Assange.
Oh, yeah.
Because the hypocrisy, this is another reason why I wasn't happy celebrating
4th of July.
4th of July. So let me just read a little bit of this. I have the specific one I want to read. I think it's here. Okay. Whether we like it or not, Julian Assange is a dissident. He despises secrecy and cannot be tamed, bought, or otherwise controlled. He has flooded the world with compromising disclosures, including evidence for war crimes, aggression, and abuse, without ever resorting to violence or fake news. He has initiated a paradigm shift in public awareness and dried up safe havens of governmental impunity. And like everyone who endangers the perks of the powerful, he has been made to pay the price. And I wanted to do, how do you break a political dissident? A promoter of truth and transparency. First, you attack his reputation and credibility, which they did. Then destroy his human dignity, which they did. You maintain a constant trickle of poisonous rumors. First half-truths and then increasingly bold lies. You keep him suspected of rape without trial, of hacking and spying, and of smearing feces on embassy walls. You portray him as the ungrateful narcissist with a cat and a skateboard. And then they say, let us not be fooled. Extraditing Assange was never about hacking, rape, espionage, or narcissism. It is about drowning his radical challenge to government secrecy, which holds the power to change world affairs forever. Inspired by the truths and principles proclaimed in the 1776 Declaration. That is why the powerful persecute Assange with ferocity, while proven war criminals are allowed to walk free. And as you watch him pay for the audacity of exposing corruption and crime, please ponder what this means for you, your country, and your family. Ponder deep and ponder hard, and then use your democratic rights to hold your government to account. So this is an extremely powerful piece because this is exactly it. It's not about him, even if any of those things were true, that they haven't proven against him. He's not even an American. He's Australian. We are actually we extradited him. We took him from where he was. We made all of these things up. He's a journalist. He's a journalist, and we're accusing him of hacking. I don't know about Pasta. Well, I do know about Pasta. Pasta and I can't hack anything. Like we could tell you all of this information and all of that. We can get it from people, but we're not going to hack into someone's computer. We're going to need Johnny's friend Qua for that. But I honestly, this tells you so much more about how the government will treat you as an innocent, a regular person, or anybody trying to put out information, especially independent media like us. We consistently put up with this kind of censorship all the time, and you should be scared. You should be worried. How dare they do this to us? How dare they treat him like such a criminal? And yet we have people like Kissinger and all these war criminals
Bush,
being put in pedestals just because they're not Donald Trump.
Bolton,
I mean, I'm sick of that.
Mueller.
What do you think, Fam?
Mueller. Mueller. I mean, you were talking about these people just walking around, like, you know.
Yeah.
And some of these people that I mentioned are back in charge.
Right.
They were just uplifted. They were celebrated. And yet, a person like Assange, who's not even a journalist, he's more of like a publisher. He just publishes the information that he gets, and he lived a world without secrets. He told us the truth when our government was constantly lying to us. Julian Assange is one of the most important person on this planet. Chelsea Manning, you can't forget about her.
Not at
Edward Snowden. These are truth tellers who are exposing to us what the elites in the government are doing to us. Fam.
And for that, they're being punished. Just remember that.
There's a last video I put up real quick, fam. Somebody else has something nice to say about Julian Assange. Guess who?
Who, fam?
Bueno, Julian Assange es un símbolo de la libertad en el mundo hoy, mañana y siempre. Va a ser de las personas que en el futuro, así como los grandes profetas, en el momento los apretaron y después se convirtieron en símbolos. Así va a ser Julian Assange. Julian Assange proclama un mundo sin secretos, un mundo abierto, un mundo libre. Claro, afecta los intereses de hoy, pero en el futuro, tu servidor y otros que habrán en otras generaciones seguirán el ejemplo de Assange.
That was beautiful.
Wasn't it, fam?
Yeah.
Wow. Johnny Tsunami, you got anything else to add to the show today? A little pimp avocado, something, nothing?
He's got something.
He's got something.
Hello, hello, hello.
Did you go off the reservation?
Yeah, sure. You can say that. I just wanted to, since we're talking about Assange, show everybody, you know, what his state is, where he is right now. So here they say that Assange is in Belmarsh in London, for those who don't know, and he's going to be there until the U.S. extradition request hearing is scheduled to take place in February 2020. So that's where he's at right now, and that's kind of what I just wanted to point out.
Yeah, and he's not in good health by all accounts at all. And, you know, keeping people in solitary confinement, I mean, the punishment does not fit the crime. Even if I thought that he did something wrong, the punishment doesn't fit the crime. And it's really unnerving how the majority of our media don't talk about this, besides independent media like us. And, you know, they're not going to. They want to paint him as a criminal. And I get really, really angry at people when they come and say, well, he's a rapist. Well, he's this. Please show me proof that he did what he did. And regardless of that, he exposed information that was so necessary for the American public to know, that led, like they said, a paradigm shift and an awakening of truth tellers, and an awakening of having the truth come out publicly. And just letting us know that our government isn't always our friend, and for the most part,
always question your government. You know what I'm saying? Don't start with this conspiracy theorist stuff. Okay, look what just happened. We didn't even talk about Epstein, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now the Pizzagate, the Pedogate people, they're going to be coming out of the woodwork saying, "I told you so." You know what I'm saying? This guy has a list, a laundry list, including Trump, including Clinton, talking about Miami to New York on these planes, doing all these things.
Both the Trump family and the Clinton family were close friends to Epstein. I mean, they hung out all the time. Again, this is a club, and you ain't in it.
That's right. So. Michael Cohen uses Lee Danny, right? The Lanny Davis and stuff. Johnny, can you show my? Do you have my Instagram up or no? He's going up there real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say hi to some people that are on. We had 70 people watching. Michael Cruz. Johnny, you got a lot of shout-outs. Michael Cruz
What's up, Michael Cruz?
Yeah, Freedom Tribe. We love you guys. Dana Fairbeck said, but George Bush gave Michelle Obama a piece of candy. I know. Mike Walker, that's so great. People are the power. Steve Wilbrant. Oh, Gringo. Allison Murphy. On the MCSC network, we had some guy hating on me, fam, and loving you, saying that you were beautiful, and I'm just a tool that says fam too much, and I'm trying too hard to be
That's
cool.
rude. Don't be mean to Pasta.
Well,
I can be mean to him.
I like it. It's like Nas. You can hate me now, but I won't stop now. We almost have 3,000 subscribers, so like, share, subscribe.
Please.
We got some awesome videos up on the Facebook. There's some David Perez has been hanging out, and Mary M. Hinojosa. I think I said it right. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for watching.
Guys, take a look at my Instagram at Yo Pasta. But I want to put up some of this stuff. It's mostly food. But get to like a nice, see right there, that pasta. Click into that pasta right here. This is the stuff I'll be teaching you to make. That's fettuccine a bolognese, right? Is that what it says up there?
No, linguine and clams.
Ooh, that's linguine with the right clam sauce. You see the fresh parsley on the plate. Beautiful. Get me another picture real quick.
It's pretty good. I tried that one.
He had that one right there. Oh, stop right there. That's pappardelle. That's pappardelle with some shrimp, ladies and gentlemen. It's got a butter sauce. I made that for fam. That's fresh pappardelle for my work. Fresh basil. It was just beautiful. Give me one more. Sorry. Go down to... Ooh, that... There's me eating some sushi and drinking a glass of wine when I used to drink. What's that right there?
I think that's nachos, right? No? Yeah.
I don't know.
That's chili.
That's the chili? Oh, yeah, that's chili. I make my chili. Go down that one. Yeah, we go. Right there. Now, here's a beautiful one, ladies and gentlemen.
Arrabbiata.
That's the arrabbiata. You could see the pieces of garlic.
I love arrabbiata sauce.
That's bucatini. That's San Marzano tomatoes. There's fresh basil in there. We hit it with some Parmesan cheese after. Those are the things I will be making. I will be showing. So if you go to our Patreon... and you can subscribe for $2, $5, $27. If you're $27, you'll get one of these shirts. After 3 months, we'll send it on out. Maybe send you a coffee mug. So that's just about it. Fiorella, what are you going to do for our Patreon?
You'll see, guys. It's a surprise.
Okay. She'll be on it as well. She's got to get to work. Somebody's got to pay the bills for Pasta Jardula.
And Fiorella.
Johnny Tsunami.
Bye,
Combo
everybody.
out.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Join us tomorrow,
Love you
Tim
all.
Canova.
Tim Canova.